Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Thursdays at the Museum. I'm Christine Mark, the DIA's Manager of Volunteer Development. Thank you for joining us today for our program. We're going to have a lot of fun, and we'll be playing bingo for the next hour. This is an opportunity to look at some art, but it's also an opportunity to have some fun and even maybe win some prizes. In order to win those prizes, though, you have to play, and in order to play, you're going to have to go to the link. The link is dia.org/bingo cards to retrieve your playing cards. You can see it up on your screen right now. There you'll find 2 unique virtual playing cards. When you hear one of your words called, click on it to mark with a digital X. 4 words in a row, either up, down, or diagonal, is a bingo. Let us know if you have a bingo by typing bingo in the comments section. To leave a comment on your YouTube page, you will need to be logged into your Gmail account. I will monitor the comments and to make sure we don't miss anything, and then I will try to answer any other questions you may have along the way. Type your questions into the comments box. Along with bingo, you can also share the card ID number located at the top of your card so you can verify that you are a winner. So type in bingo and then type in your card ID number. I encourage everyone to keep an eye on your cards. And during your presentation, you can see the cards and our 2 beautiful hosts today. Ian Ripnicki of Community Engagement and Kimberly Dobos-Wolf. Sorry, Kimmy, I just messed up your name. Like I haven't been saying it for years. Kimmy is the education coordinator for the volunteers in the museum and all the docents. So thanks and welcome, Ian and Kimmy.
Thanks, Christine. So to start off, I will suggest trying to use 2 devices today. One to look at the bingo cards, and one for the presentation that Kimmy and I are currently broadcasting on. And then you can toggle between the 2 screens, or you don't have to toggle between the 2 screens. If you only have one device, you can do multiple tabs and toggle back and forth between those, because we're going to have pretty pictures to accompany the words that we're reading, and you'll want to see those. And you'll want to see our beautiful faces, as Christine suggested. So today we're playing for some prizes from the DIA's shop. The first prize that we're playing for is this beautiful catalog that goes with our current exhibition, Detroit Style, Car Design in the Motor City from 1950 to 2020. It's a big, beautiful book. I guess it's coffee table worthy. It's quite a prize. But if you don't win it, don't worry. You can still pick it up if you go to diashop.org, or you can purchase it in the building if you make it down to the museum. But let's get started. If you haven't gotten your cards, just follow that link in the comments section. link.dia.org/bingo cards. There you'll get 2 blank cards that you can click along with. But let's get started. We're going to try to give away some prizes today. So the first word is kitchen. Kitchen, as in this piece called Kitchen 5, Holding the Milk from 2009. This is a still that you're seeing on the screen that is captured from a video which captured a performance by the artist Marina Abramovic. This is something that normally hangs in our contemporary galleries, and trust me when I say it's a little more engaging when it's moving. So go to the museum to see the real thing sometime. Let's get another word going. The second word is cars. Kimmy?
Cars, yeah. So as Ian said, our first prize today is a book from our car exhibition. And the picture on screen is actually something that is a drawing that is in the exhibition. But we also have 12 vehicles that we have brought into the museum, which was quite a feat. So if you are interested in going to that exhibition, it is free with admission. And join us down in the museum. And even though you can't get in the cars, you can still get a feel for how cool they are.
Very cool. Speaking of cool, take a look at this glamour shot of Warhol here. This is an image of self-portrait from 1967 by Andy Warhol. It's acrylic and silkscreen enamel on canvas from our contemporary collection. It is one of 2 variations that we have from this series. I believe 10 were made in total with different color stories. And so it's really cool to see multiples and see those colors shifted, and just more impactful than just one on its own. So we're really fortunate to have multiples in our collection.
Yeah, and Ian, we're one of the few museums in the country that have multiples, aren't we?
Yeah, they're a hot ticket. Like I said, in this series, I think around 10 of them, if I recall. So we've got 20% of them locked down in our collection.
We're doing great.
Pretty good.
All right, what's our next word?
Firefly.
Firefly. Yeah, so you can actually see just behind the person who's staying there, there's another one of our Andy Warhols, which is pretty cool. But this is a piece that's called Firefly. It's actually a self-portrait by artist Jim Palace. And here we have an image of one of our gallery teachers who dressed up as this piece of art for Halloween, which is pretty exciting. This piece is off view right now, but when it comes back on view to the museum, you can come and visit it. And if you clap your hands or stomp your feet on the ground, it will light up for you. Like a firefly. Yeah, not going to work today, but we can try, right?
All right, just practicing. Just practicing. All right, well, let's go to the next words. DIA at home. We're looking for DIA at home on your playing card. You all know what this is about because you're experiencing it right now. The DIA is offering all sorts of virtual digital content right now that you can access by going to our website, dia.org, and you'll find images and info about our art collection, art videos. You can find links to special film screenings from the DFT, art making projects, instructions and tutorials, and all sorts of other fun stuff. So yeah, go to dia.org to find out all sorts of fun things to do at home.
Absolutely. And speaking of home, well, actually, I guess that's not really just speaking of at home, I'm home right now, and I'd like to hear the next word, please.
It's rhinestone.
So Rhinestone, if you've come to the museum and seen this piece, you will know how absolutely beautiful it is because it is covered in rhinestones. This is called Something You Can Feel by Micheline Thomas, and she is an artist that's represented in our African American galleries. And she uses rhinestones in her work to make these beautiful creations of strong, independent, women. So if you're ever in the museum and you come and see this piece, it is on view right now. So come and be mesmerized by the beautiful rhinestones that are in it.
Yes, it is mesmerizing. It's a showstopper. Now let's go to our next word, no, and I'll just take a moment to remind any newcomers that you can find a playing card to play along at the link on your screen, link.dia.org/bingo cards. And in the comments section, you can find some words that we already read so you can catch up with us. But the word right now is no. And the image you're seeing is a mask from our Japanese collection. This is a mask that was used in a traditional form of theater, no theater. Ours is painted wood. It has copper in it, and it's from the 17th century. And if you go to the museum, alongside it, you can actually see a video of the mask in action. And so it really brings it to life in a way that, the object has a lot of life in it. It's very expressive for a sculptural object, but when you see it in motion, it really has much more life.
Yeah, well, this one also, is supposed to be a representative of a woman who turned into a spirit who came after her husband who mistreated her. So,
Yeah, I wasn't going to go there, but yeah,
well,
it's an interesting story.
We're talking about strong women, so here we go. All right, what's our next piece, Ian?
MUSHHUSHSHU.
Oh, MUSHHUSHSHU. So MUSHHUSHSHU is a wonderful ceramic piece that we have at the museum in our ancient Middle Eastern galleries. And MUSHHUSHSHU is actually was a protector of the city of Babylon back over 2,500 years ago. So he was part of the Ishtar Gates, and as you can see, he's made up of a bunch of different types of animals. So Ian's has his cursor over the head. It's the head of a snake and the body of a snake. In the front, there are the paws of a lion. In the back, there are the talons of an eagle. And on the tail, there's a scorpion stinger. So he's supposed to be ferocious looking and give off that protective vibe, which I think today many of us might feel that way about maybe our dogs. But back during that time, this was something that was representative to people who were welcomed into a city to know what kind of protection it had over it.
Yeah, this is really stunning when you see the recreations of the Ishtar Gate and see that this is just one of many, many more protective images on it. It's really awe-inspiring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
all
it's
right.
fantastic.
We still have a bingo, so we're gonna keep it moving. Next word, Eleonora. And the image you'll see to go along with Eleonora is a portrait of Eleonora of Toledo and her son from around somewhere in the range of 1545 through 50. It's an oil painting by Bronzino in our Italian galleries. Noteworthy thing about this might be the gray background. Originally, Bronzino painted this with a blue background, but because of the pigment that was used, smalt, which was a little cheaper than other blue pigments, it's faded over time. It's turned gray, whereas if you were to go see a similar version of this in Florence, it still holds the blue color because Bronzino used fancier pigment for that one. But ours is still nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you think that maybe you and I can go to the museum and take a picture like this together?
We could try.
I just really want to have that dress on. I don't know how you feel about wearing a little suit like that.
I'll just Photoshop it. I think that'll be easier. Next time we play bingo, I'll share that one.
Sounds good. All right. So this is a sculpture that we have outside of our building. This is kind of on the north side over near Kirby Street. It's called Gracehoper, and it is a really cool exterior sculpture that you can really, if you walk around it, it's really cool to see the different angles. The way that this was actually put on the lawn was in pieces, even though it looks like a singular piece. You can find images online of some of the news stories back in the 80s when this was installed, of them putting it together in pieces. So, art museums are not always just hanging pretty pictures on the wall. Sometimes there's actual construction that happens with our work.
Yeah, call me crazy, but it almost looks like a grasshopper to me. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. And maybe it has something to do with the name too.
Maybe. I don't know. All right, let's go to the next word. Whistler. You're looking for Whistler. This is an image of Nocturne in Black and Gold, The Falling Rocket from 1875. This is a beautiful piece. It's really kind of abstract for the time period, and it was kind of controversial at the time that it was painted too. There was some bad press about this piece being a little too expressionistic, or a little lacking the details, the realistic details people expected at the time. So it resulted in this lawsuit, this court case between Whistler and an art critic. And it cost a lot of money, took a lot of time, but ultimately Whistler came out on top, eventually sold this piece for a pretty good profit, and it, it went all right for him. And he's in major museum collections all around the world. So I think it worked out for him.
You know, his work's pretty well known. So who's laughing now, right?
But who's not laughing? Shakyamuni is not laughing.
Absolutely not. So this is actually a wooden figure that is in our Buddhist galleries right now. Shakyamuni is representative of this piece is called Shakyamuni as an ascetic, and he is considered the founder of Buddhism. And here he is after emerging from the mountains. He has he's in a pose where he's almost in a meditation. He has a lot of signs of the Buddha, but he has not quite become the Buddha yet. And this piece is actually really cool because he in the back of him he has a little piece that is removed where things could be placed inside of him. He's also painted. So the fact that he's painted and still looks really good for his age, he's several hundred years old, I believe. Ian, you can correct me if I'm wrong or if I'm misremembering, but if you haven't, you haven't been to the museum in a while, this has been on view for a while, but it's now placed in the gallery that kind of talks a little bit about Buddhism. So it's something interesting to learn.
Yeah, late 1200s, early 1300s. Looks great for his age, and he looks great for somebody who's been fasting in the wilderness for a long time too.
Yep.
I mean, he looks okay. Let's be honest. He doesn't look great. He looks okay.
He's doing okay. Yeah.
Speaking of not looking great, but looking okay, is this portrait of a man by Velázquez. You're looking for the word Velázquez on your cards, which again, you can find at link.dia.org/bingo cards, and you can catch up by checking the comments section and finding all the words that are listed there. We're looking for a bingo, Velázquez. This is a portrait from around 1560. Not necessarily a flattering portrait of this guy. All the blemishes are there, but that's kind of what makes this a little unique at the time. That it was a little more common to idealize seated figures in their portraits. So Velázquez was kind of stepping outside that, a little looser with his brushwork and a little more honest with his portrayals of individuals. I can't look at this guy too long, so let's move on.
Yeah, that's all right. So this is our chapel. So if anybody has ever been to the museum, you might know that we have a couple of different rooms inside of our museum, and this is one of them. Back when our museum was built in 1927, it was very fashionable to take architectural rooms and place them in museums. So here we have a chapel. It's actually came to us from France. And this would have been something that a family had in their private home, which of course would have been a little bit more castle-like. And it was just a private space for devotion and worship. And it's really cool. You can go inside of it. You can view the light that comes in from Kresge Court. And it's a really nice way to kind of appreciate architectural elements that would have, were inspired by, some really old cathedrals in Europe.
Cool. How about we find the word visions on our boards? Come on, everybody. We need a bingo in here. Visions refers to an off-site exhibition. So we've been talking about our permanent collection, our on-site exhibitions. This is one that we've collaborated with, which is currently in Lorenzo Cultural Center at Macomb Community College till September 11th. It was previously at Anton Art Center in Mount Clemens, so it's traveling. So it's an opportunity to see some American paintings that aren't part of our permanent collection.
Absolutely.
Let's go back to our permanent collection, though, with the next word, Tintoretto.
Here in Tintoretto, this, maybe if you've been to the museum, you might not have seen this because it's on the ceiling. And this is supposed to be purposefully installed on the ceiling because that was part of the agreement when we purchased the piece. But this is something that the original owner would have had it displayed above their bed, and they would have looked up and seen, if you look to the left, there's somebody who's holding an hourglass, and then you see and that's kind of representative of time and how time is of the essence, and you should make the most of your day. There's a lot of other things going on in this piece. If you come to the museum, you don't have to crane your neck to see it though, because we do have a mirror installed, so you can look at the mirror and look up. Or, if you really feel like, laying on the floor and taking a quick peek, that's okay too. I know I've done that before.
Yeah, I don't know about hanging this over my bed personally. I think it's better suited for an art museum.
Yeah, it's a little big too.
Speaking of big works at the museum, the next word is Rivera, which refers to this entire room that we call Rivera Court in the center of the building. It's filled with murals that are called the Detroit Industry Murals. They're frescoes painted in the 1930s by artist Diego Rivera. They're world famous, they're a treasure, and they're in your backyard. They're at the DIA, and they're not going anywhere. So you really got to see these. Putting a picture on the screen it really doesn't do it any justice. You got to be in the space and see the natural light on these to really understand why they're so important and why they're so treasured.
Yeah, and Ian, for as long as I've been at the museum, every single time I go in that room, I see something different. I don't know about you, but...
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just incredible the amount of work that was accomplished in a relatively short amount of time. Less than a year, about a year.
8 months, yep.
8 months, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy to think about the productivity of Rivera. Kind of makes me feel bad about myself.
That's all right. We'll catch up to that level of productivity one day, I'm sure. Yeah.
All right, next word is holiday.
Holiday. So this might not look like something that you would associate with the word holiday, but this piece is called To Disembark Billie Holiday, and it is by an artist named Glenn Ligon. And inside the box, so this is representative of a man a real person who had escaped the condition of being enslaved and shipped himself in a box to the northern territories or northern states, and just the things that happened and how he came to become a freed person. And inside the box, Glenn Ligon put a recording of Billie Holiday singing a song that she created based off of a poem called Strange Fruit, which also talks about the mistreatment of African American people and enslaved people. So when you come to the museum, it's actually pretty haunting because you usually hear her singing before you see the box. So I encourage everybody to come and look at it and listen and kind of think about, some of the things that people have endured in our history.
Yeah, that's a really powerful piece for such a kind of simple presentation of a wooden box. It's a really powerful.
We have a bingo, everybody.
All right.
All right.
Bingo card number 014.
All right, let me enter it into our
high-tech computer system.
Verifying machine here. Let's see here. Processing.
While Ian's doing that, I just want to remind everybody that the museum is open. We are open Wednesday through Sunday. You can join us. We are open from 9 to 4 on the weekdays and 10 to 5 on the weekends. So, Ian, do you have a result for that bingo?
Oh, I gotta try a different. I didn't press the big red button. Okay, it's confirmed. We have a bingo.
Okay. All right, perfect.
You will receive that beautiful catalog of Detroit style. Just email us at the email address on your screen, communityengagement@dia.org. Send us your name and address and your phone number, and we'll make sure you get that beautiful book in the mail. The rest of you, do not worry, because we're going to play for some more prizes. So just hit the reset button at the top of your playing cards and it'll clear the board. We're going to use the same boards, same words, different order, different prizes.
Different fun.
Different fun.
More fun.
We're going to keep it moving. I think we're warmed up now. So I think we're going to get a second bingo even faster.
Okay, congratulations to Zalarius.
All right.
Yes. And again, you can get all of today's prizes for yourself for purchase at diashop.org. The second prize we're playing for is this DIA exclusive umbrella, which features a print of the painting The Diggers by Vincent van Gogh. It's beautiful and it keeps you dry. All right. First word, round 2. Thursdays. That's right. Today, you all know about this. Thursdays at the museum. Interesting, different programming every Thursday at 1 p.m. right from the comfort of your own home. Tune in next week. You'll see a live musical performance. Other weeks, you'll have studio visits with artists, film screenings, and tours of parts of the collection. So check back every Thursday, not just bingo Thursdays.
All right.
All right. So that is a word you're looking for on your bingo boards. Thursday. Mark it. All right. Another word you're looking for is thinker.
All right. So the thinker, you can kind of tell in this picture, we have him stationed right outside of our museum. You probably are wondering, wow, I've seen the thinker in popular culture. And, you know, don't other museums have a thinker also? And yes, you are correct. A lot of museums and institutions have a thinker. And that's because the process of creating a bronze sculpture like this makes it easy for an artist to create different editions of it, or additional editions, I should say. So the artist, Rodin, he created many different editions of this, and we are fortunate to be the proud owners of one of them. And it looks like he's thinking pretty hard, right? You know, I think a lot of people kind of wonder about that. And he's thinking of the weight of knowledge, and he's representative of a figure that Rodin had created for a doorway that represented Dante's The Inferno. So there's a lot of different things going on here, but you know, he's thinking about a lot of things. So
yeah, I'm thinking maybe he's thinking that he just tuned in to this broadcast and he doesn't know what's going on, and he's waiting for some explanation.
For sure.
So if you're like him, you can find your playing card, your virtual playing card, at the link on the screen, link.dia.org/bingo cards. You'll get 2 playing cards to play along and win some prizes. This is round 2. We've heard Thursdays, thinker, and now our third word is Chapanagans, as in this portrait of Chief Chapanagans by Anger Irving Koos. This is a painting from did I get that right?
I think it's cows, but that's okay.
Cows, there you go. Regardless of pronunciation, it was painted in 1910. It's an oil on canvas. There's really a lot that this portrait is meant to convey about Chapanagans' personality, his profession, his pride of culture. So like each prop and each article of clothing and the expression on his face all kind of builds this bigger narrative about who Chapanagans was. And here we are 111 years later, still talking about him. That's one of the powerful things about art. When you capture something, it kind of freezes in time, and the museum preserves it so people can still think about that subject long in the future.
Yeah.
And speaking of still thinking about something, let's think a little more about the next word, which we heard in the first game.
The chapel.
Chapel. So we don't need to go into great depth about it.
No.
This is one of those fun things to experience in person at the museum. But we've already heard a little bit about this, and we want to win some more prizes. So let's jump ahead to this. And I kind of talked through your word, Kimmy. So you can take Kapoor.
Yeah, sure. So this is the word Kapoor is associated with the artist for this. His name is Anish Kapoor. He is an artist who creates a lot of really big sculptures with highly reflective surfaces. Might be kind of hard to tell in this image, but when you come to the museum and you see this in person, the red is actually glittery. So today, Ian, thank you for letting me talk about my favorite thing, which are sparkles and glitter. And you might be able to also see in the center, it looks like there's something that's reflective in there. And the image that you're seeing is actually the museum flipped upside down. So the gallery that we're in, everything looks upside down when you're standing in front of this in person, which is something that he intended to happen in this piece. So come to the museum and get a look at this and kind of feel what it's like to see things upside down. Maybe like in Stranger Things, right? The upside down.
Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of bizarre, and it's another thing you can't capture in a photograph is that kind of weird floating self. Let's move on to another familiar word. Again, we're playing the same words, different order, different winners maybe this round. Whistler is a word that's reoccurring, and since we talked about it a few minutes ago, we'll breeze right on by it, and I will tell you about the next word, Prince. Prints refers to prints, drawings and photographs. The museum has a huge collection of rather delicate works of art that can't stay on view as long as some of the other works like paintings and sculptures. The paper is really light sensitive and sensitive to the environment. So we often have special exhibitions that go up for shorter periods of time. Right now, it's the prints of Robert Blackburn. This is a show that will be up through September 5th of 2021. And you can see a lot of really incredible printmaking by Blackburn and others. Very cool stuff.
Yeah, and that one, Ian, too, is also a traveling exhibition that came to us from the Smithsonian Institution, which is really cool. So it's always really fun to think about partnering with other museums and getting work that we don't own in our building.
So you're telling me I misrepresented it. So
No.
it is cool because that space that this is in also is used a lot of times to display our own objects. But it is, it's really special. We can see stuff that we never get a chance to see that travels. But something you can see in our permanent collection, I know for a fact, is this next word.
Picasso. So, a lot of people know Picasso. I actually have a behind me, print behind me, but Pablo Picasso is, one of the really famous artists that we have in our collection. We have a room that's full of a lot of pieces that he did of women because he really liked to paint women. And this particular piece is of a lady named Dora Maar, and it's called Girl Reading. And this is kind of past his cubist phase, but he's really this is kind of like one of those images he's really well known for distorting an image and making her face represented in a way that isn't what she really looked like, but it also kind of showcases in a way her personality, and that's kind of what he was going for when he created this look. But this is on view right now, so again, you can come and see it and say hello to Picasso's ladies and a couple others too.
All right, let's go to the word amphora. A lot of people have Olympic fever right now, and this has an ancient relationship to those kind of athletic competitions. This vessel was a prize for not the Olympics, but a different set of athletic competitions thousands of years ago called the Panathenaic Games. This is an object from around 375 or 370 BCE. So it's over 2,000 years old. And you can see right on the vessel represented is the competition of a foot race. So the winner of a foot race would have gotten this prize filled with valuable olive oil, not just one jar, but many of these jars filled with olive oil. It was a pretty cool prize to get, not just because the jar, but because that olive oil was really useful. As I'm sure you all know, there's cooking things you can do with olive oil. I burned through it a lot, but athletes would have used it for other kind of hygienic purposes and for showcasing their muscles, like maybe bodybuilders do. They shine themselves up to kind of showcase their physiques.
A lot of hard work going into that.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Photography.
All right. So as Ian was saying, we get a lot of exhibitions that, can kind of travel around, and anything that's a work on paper, which includes prints and drawings and photography, is an opportunity for us to showcase stuff that we can't always put on view. So this image that Ian chose to show you today is from an exhibit that's coming up in October called Black is Beautiful, the photography of Kwame Brathwaite, excuse me. And it'll be a work about black and white and color photography that this artist created, featuring a Black is Beautiful kind of vision. And it'll be really something to see. I've seen a lot of the images from some of the meetings that we've been in, and they're really stunning and really cool and beautiful. So October 8th is the opening date for that, and that runs through next January. So that'll be something for us to look forward to.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. Let's talk about another one of these delicate objects in the museum's collection. Kermit. Most of you probably recognize Kermit the Frog. And many of you don't even know that Kermit lives in the museum at the DIA. We have an original Jim Henson puppet from 1969 in our collection. It's extremely delicate, so he doesn't come out often. He was out relatively recently, and it really is like spotting a celebrity. He's not moving. We don't have a live puppeteer, but just seeing that familiar smile behind that glass it's just like spotting a celebrity in the museum.
For sure. And Ian, it's really cool too, because Jim Henson actually gave this Kermit to us. So
yeah, because the DIA really is recognized as having a world-class puppet collection. And because a lot of them are made out of fabrics or papers that are fragile, these are things that don't stay permanently on view. They come in and out of storage, maybe on view for half of the year, then go back to rest in their safe storage space. But that means you get to see a variety of puppets. If you come back a few times a year, you'll see a different display in the cases outside of the lecture hall.
Absolutely.
So yeah, be sure to pop down that hall and see what puppets are on view when you make it down there.
Yeah, but one thing that we have on display almost all the time is our next slide, and it is.
What is it?
Coming up. It's coming up. It's Wiley. That's for Kehinde Wiley, who's the artist of this magnificent piece of art. We have it currently on display kind of near our special exhibition space. And he is an artist that likes to take people, put people in context of historical events that kind of elevates the narrative and the perspectives of people of color. So in this particular piece, he actually had his model pick a piece of art that he wanted to be represented as. And here we have him riding a horse, carrying a sword, sitting on a cheetah saddle. And it's really a stunning piece to see in person. And, think about, how, representation is important throughout history, and how Kehinde Wiley is kind of making commentary on that today. There's a lot more to say about it, but I think, we can maybe touch on that if we get to this piece another time.
Yeah, for the sake of giving away prizes, we're going to keep it rolling. I'll take the time to remind any new viewers that they can find a card, playing cards at the link on the screen. Type that in your browser. You'll get 2 blank playing cards you can play along with virtually. To catch you up to speed for this round, you've heard the words Thursdays, Thinker, Chapanagans, Chapel, Kapoor, Whistler, Prince, Picasso, Amphora, Photography, Kermit, Wiley, and now Cars. Somebody should be getting a bingo soon. We're getting deep into this round. Cars, as we said earlier, refers to the exhibition at the museum right now, Detroit Style, Car Design in the Motor City from 1950 through 2020. You can come see this print and other artworks, including a dozen actual cars parked in the building until January 9th of 2022. All right, next word is a new one.
All right, Artemisia. So, Ian, seriously, I feel like you've been giving me all the best stuff today. So this is by a female artist. It's one of the oldest paintings by a female artist we have in the museum, and this her name is Artemisia Gentileschi. And here we have a depiction of Judith. It's called Judith and the Head of Holofernes. Judith is the woman who is in the yellow gown, who is holding her hand up to the light. And if you follow that light all the way down to the bottom of the painting, you might notice that her maidservant is covering up a head that has been severed from a general who was planning to wreak havoc on their town. So if you come to the museum, this was off you for a while, and Christine's back, so I think we might have a bingo, but come see this piece. Yes.
We have 2 bingos.
Wow,
bingo.
Yes,
Oh my
we
goodness.
do. And our bingo winners, please submit your bingo card number into the comment box.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, you interrupted a really dark message story about decapitation there. With
Kimmy has all
really
the dark ones of the stories today that are ruffle
dark
people's
stories.
feathers and tell. Oh, here we have one. Bingo card 065.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna punch that in here.
And while Ian's looking at that, just back to Artemisia, I mean, like, she was our Bruce has been leaving some comments. He said she's a brilliant painter, and she really was. And we have an exhibit about her work coming up soon, within the next year, I believe. So keep an eye out for that too, because she's really actually becoming really popular in the art world lately. Even though she's been very popular for a while, I think some of her her outlook on expressing female power has been really taken. People have been taking notice of that lately.
And then we have another bingo winner. Joanne, please submit your card number.
Yeah, it's just at the top of the playing card, your ID number, and we'll just run it through to check that it's a winner. Card 65 is indeed a winner. A clean streak. 4 X's. The only 4 X's on the board are the winners here. So well played, I guess. I don't know. We'll send you your umbrella if you email us at the email on the screen, communityengagement@dia.org. Share with us your name and your address and your phone number, and we'll make sure you get your prize. Let me double check.
Ian, the other number is 047.
All right. Beep, beep, bloop, 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 beep, 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 beep. Let's see. I'm not sure. What call are we at here? 47. Looks like we're still looking for a few, maybe got a few options for a win coming up. I'm seeing 3 in a row. So we might have some confusion. We were reusing the cards from last time, but we should have cleared those before round 2. So sorry to say, 47 is not yet a winner, but it is very close actually. So how about we keep playing and see if we can get that card filled up? Or no, I guess.
We're on a new round.
Let's go to a new round. That's how this thing works, isn't it? I really wanted that to be a winner.
I know.
But
we're all winners inside, right? In our hearts.
Yes, we are. And it's okay. I have a good feeling about this. We're going to do some speed bingo here. Round 3, we're playing for a different prize. We're playing for the latest bulletin of the DIA. These are published periodically and go into some really interesting depth about different parts of our collection. And so, yeah, it's a really good read. You can pick it up for yourself if you don't win it at diashop.org. And we'll just launch straight in, and we'll try to whiz through this so we can get some victories on the board.
It's our lightning round.
Photography. Again, the exhibition Black is Beautiful, photography of Kwame Brathwaite, will be on view in October 8th through January 16th. Word number 2.
It's Ellie and Nora. And again, Ian and I will probably not get a picture of this like us together, but hopefully we'll Photoshop something for next time.
I forgot to remind our viewers that they should clear their cards out. So if you didn't do that moments ago, you can clear it out and then just click on photography and Eleonora. Those are the only words you should have marked on your boards right now. So reset the boards and then click photography and Eleonora. And while you're at it, look for the word Whistler. Click that one also. Again, image on screen is from 1875, a painting by Whistler called Nocturne in Black and Gold, Falling Rocket. Beautiful, kind of impressionistic-esque fireworks at night, really beautiful. It looks kind of abstract. Great piece. Let's move on to another word.
All right, Schapenagons is our next word. And again, as Ian said, this is a piece that really speaks to a person, sharing a person's identity and, and what that looks like to this person. And I think we can all connect with that today.
Yeah, well, here, the next word or letters, DFT, is something we haven't talked about today. That's DFT for Detroit Film Theater. The theater itself, you can see in the photo, is a beautiful spot to watch some interesting movies. But you can actually watch movies from home right now that are curated by the DFT for your viewing pleasure. The cost of the stream is comparable or less than a theater ticket usually is to go out, except the cool thing is you just buy once and you can invite a whole crew over to watch it, and concessions are much cheaper at home. You can pause it to go to the bathroom. So it's a really cool opportunity to see some films that you might not have access to that the DFT is able to acquire the rights to stream, and you get to watch these kind of interesting things from your home.
Yeah, but if you can get to the museum, that theater is so cool to sit in.
Absolutely.
All right, so our next word is Thompson, and that's for Bob Thompson, who is the painter of this piece called Blue Madonna. It's a piece that shows some ambiguous forms and ambiguous people, but it still is supposed to be representative of Mary and Jesus and all these other people in the forest, which I think that if you come and look at it, you can kind of think about how you interpret what they're all up to.
Love that one. We have our next word is conservation, which is referring to a whole department, a team of professionals who keep our art looking its best. Really a lot of behind the scenes work to make sure that the art is stable and as beautiful as it can be and preserved for many generations to come. Really great work they're doing. Really, really cool stuff.
And sometimes in this particular piece, they had a couple of sessions where they allowed people from the public to watch what they were doing to conserve it before they put it in storage for a little while. Ooh. So, and our next word is, speaking of things that are in storage, Firefly is in storage right now. As I said, this is an interactive piece and it's a self-portrait. So we are kind of talking a little bit about portraits throughout this talk, but this is a self-portrait. So again, thinking about how you would envision yourself. I also would like to have sparkly lights just all over me all the time. I think that would be fun. And if people clapped at me, they would There I go.
That'd be nice. All right. This next one, not in storage. We've already talked a little bit about it. Rivera. Can't put this one in storage. It's physically part of the building. It's a fresco. It's painted into the plaster on the walls. It's a piece representing Detroit industry. It's a piece that resonates with many area visitors because a lot of us have connections with the auto industry. So it's really empowering to see images of familiar people on an art museum's wall. I know I grew up in a Ford house. Both my parents worked on the assembly line at Ford. So it's really powerful to see that profession immortalized on the walls. So it's really touching for a lot of families that come through to see people that look like themselves or their parents or their grandparents. And you really got to experience it in person.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
All right. Another familiar word.
All right. So I know we just talked about Kermit not too long ago, but there he is, and as Ian said, he's been put away and he probably won't be back out for quite a while. But another thing we didn't talk about is the fact that Kermit is actually considered a prototype for the Kermit that actually was on television. A lot of artists, they go through sketches, like things that we might see in our prints and drawings collection, or some of the cars and the car stuff from the car exhibit. But this Kermit, he's still considered kind of like a draft of the Kermit that went on to be on TV, which is pretty cool.
Still very recognizable and familiar, though.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like a pretty good draft. Next word, visions, a reminder that there's an off-site exhibition, Visions of American Life, selections from the Nancy and Sean Cotton collection of American art, which you can see through September 11th at the Lorenzo Cultural Center on the campus of Macomb Community College, the center campus, and see some nice American paintings that aren't at the museum.
Very cool. Absolutely. So what's our next word, Ian?
It's Bruegel.
Oh, Bruegel, a fan favorite. Bruegel, this painting is one of the few Bruegel paintings in the United States, so we're very lucky to have it, and it's considered one of the big treasures of the museum. But it's this piece is called The Wedding Dance, and it's a celebration of people who are peasants who are celebrating a wedding. The bride is the woman in the black dress, and her groom is possibly the man, it might be kind of hard to see on the screen, but the man that has like a black cloak that's just kind of behind the man that the bride is dancing with. So say that 5 times fast. This is a really cool piece. We have a really cool descriptive graphic in front of it to kind of help explain some of the conservation we recently did on it. And if you come to the museum, make sure you check this one out.
Yes, indeed. Also, check out this bowl. Is this on view right now?
This is on view right now. Yep.
Cool. This is in our African galleries. Really cool. We could go on and on about this piece. It's carved out of a single tree stump or a single log. So it's a relief carving, which is incredible. The depth of relief here. Just a bowl with a lid, a royal presentation bowl that would, really beat just your average wrapping paper if you're gifting something to somebody and you take the lid off of this thing. But this is by artist Alloway of Ise. It's probably it's from the early 20th century. We don't have an exact date on it, but it is really uncommon in our African galleries to know the artist's identity. So it's special that we have several works by Alloway of Ise.
He's a master carver, that's for sure.
Yeah, incredible stuff. Again, we're playing bingo though. So if you see this word and you hear this word, look for it on your bingo card and try to win a prize. And we're going to keep moving.
I was going to say, Ian, since we're kind of like running a little short on time here, do you think we should just speed this up with a lightning round and go through these words?
Yeah. Follow along here. Next word.
Landscape. This is a landscape by Robert Duncanson. It's on display in the museum, and it's in our American galleries. So it's pretty great.
Yes. Next word is mummy. And this is a mummy. That's from our Egyptian collection. It's about 2,000 years old, and it is pretty surreal to see a 2,000-year-old mummy.
Because there is a person in there. That is true. Yep.
Next word.
No. So Ian kind of talked a little bit about the No Theater, and if you come to the museum, you can get catch a video seeing this a mask like this one in action.
Kitchen is the next word. Some of you might be playing along from your home kitchen. But you can see Marina Abramovich's kitchen at the DIA. Might look a little different than your own personal kitchen.
And it's like a 15-minute video too, so you gotta stick around to see what happens.
Yeah. We won't spoil it.
No. But the mouth might spoil.
Yeah.
Next word is MUSHHUSHSHU. And we talked a little bit about him and the power that he had kind of represented over the Ishtar Gate. Another thing about MUSHHUSHSHU too is we're one of the few museums in the United States that has a dragon MUSHHUSHSHU at our museum. So it's pretty special to our collection.
Yeah, if nothing else, if you're not winning prizes and you're following along, one prize you're all getting should be a sense of pride in our local art collection. It's world class and it belongs to us. And we have a bingo.
Bingo.
Oh,
and,
my goodness.
Mimi, we need your number. 075, Ian.
075. I don't know if Mimi has a winner here. I don't trust a name like Mimi here.
Oh, no. Mimi definitely has a winner. I can feel it.
All right. Well, Mimi can email communityengagement@dia.org with her address and name and phone number, and she'll get the beautiful DIA bulletin mailed off. All right, cool. Well, and you know what? I'm feeling generous. We were hoping to get through more rounds. We had a real close call earlier. It was what, Joanne? Joanne,
yes.
Email us at communityengagement@dia.org. Also, if you're still listening, email us and we'll take care of you too, because it was so close. I thought we'd get you another chance to win. We didn't get there.
There'll be a next time, I'm sure.
But yeah, thanks everybody for playing along. We'll do this again periodically. Maybe at some point we'll do it in person at the museum. But until then, you can continue to log in virtually for our Thursdays at the Museum program. You can find us on our website, dia.org. You can stumble upon us on Facebook Live when the event's going on. And it's always something different. Next week is a musical performance by, I had a note and I forgot it. Who are we? Who are we? Public Quartet.
That's right.
That's right. So a musical performance streaming to your home next week. And then take a look at our calendar. You can catch streaming films, and artist studio visits, and yeah, maybe some point down the road, bingo again.
And I will say this too. The docents do a Thursday topic, like behind the scene talk kind of things, and a lot of times we'll also feature a little trivia question at the end, and there can be some prizes with that too. So if you're interested in joining us for those, there's also some additional opportunities to win some prizes and enjoy some information about our collection.
Yeah, I know. The prizes are always good motivation. If you don't care about learning about our amazing art collection, maybe you care about getting a free book or something.
I mean, I think that just seeing the pieces is, just seeing them alone is a special thing.
Indeed. All right. Well, we don't have time for another round. I wish we did. I wish we could give out all the prizes today, but that's all we have time for today. So we will sign off and see you next time.
Thank you, everyone.